Hello, everybody. This is your boy, Mr. What If here, bringing you a brand new little story on my YouTube channel. So, yeah, this is part 3, I believe, to What If Uri joined Class 1A. Recap of last video, Deku, Uri, All Might, and Mr. Aizawa have gotten done with the with their little sparring. So, and yeah, got done with their little fight against Deku versus Mr. Aizawa, while Uri versus All Might. We got done with that fight, and I believe I left off at the part of them arriving to what's it called? The entry exam. So yeah, we're going to hop into that part right now. So Uri and Deku are just talking and wondering how they would do on the entry exam, and yeah. So they'll go through the whole meeting process with President Might talking about the 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, and 0 pointer robot. I believe, yeah. Talks about the robots and the points. And Ida still asks the question. What about the 0 point? It still asks the same question. And all of that. So yeah. That stays the same, except this time Deku doesn't cause a whole thing. So yeah. Now let's get to, so for the written exam, Uri scores the top highest score, with Bakugo coming in second and Deku coming in third for the written exam. And we finally get to the battle part of the exam, of the entry exam. So Uri walks up into the front of everybody, and Deku sees this, and he tries to run up towards her, and Ida does the whole thing like in canon, tells him that, are you trying to ruin that girl's chances by talking to her and getting herself down? Then he says, no, I just wanted to get to the front of everybody so I can get the most points to get in. And then Ida's still trying to tell Deku that he can't just ruin somebody's chances, and Deku was like, dude, are you even listening to me? I'm trying to tell you that I'm trying to get to the front so I can be first to get more points. And then Ida's not believing him and calling him a liar and saying that you're trying to lie. There's no reason to. And then Deku's saying, so there must not be a reason to trust me since I'm telling the truth. And then they get into a whole argument. And this is when Uri would hear their argument, turn around and walk towards them and ask them, is everything okay? And then Deku would say, not really. This guy with the engine, with the little engines in the back of his calves, he's trying to tell me that I'm not allowed to go to the front of everybody to get more points. And then Ida says that's not what he's trying to say at all. And this is when Uri would catch on, seeing that Ida has engines, and then Uri would ask Ida, is she part of the Ingenium family, and Ida would say yes. And this is when President Mike would yell through the mic saying, 1, 2, 3, go. This is when Deku would use, I believe the last part I said that Deku could use 8% of One For All. I'm going to say that Deku could use, I said last part, Deku could use 8% of One For All. I believe I said that. But Deku could actually use 15%. He's just more comfortable at 8 because he sees no reason going over 8. So I'll say that Deku, he's going to use 5%. And Uri's gonna use her scarf, of course. Well, Uri really can't use her scarf, but since she was recommended by, oh yeah, Uri got recommended by Mr. Aizawa, and Deku didn't get recommended. Well, he did, but he just said he wanted to try it on for himself, and so did Uri. So, yeah. And I'll say that Mr. Aizawa gave an okay for Uri to use her claw, use the, not claws, you know, I wanna say, I'm so slow. I'm sorry, I'm having an off day today. I had an off day today this morning anyway. Use the gives the okay to use the scarf. There we go. Scarf in battle. She gives the okay. I'm sorry about all that, people. It's just that I can't speak. I really can't. I have sort of a lisp. I can't speak. Alright. So, yeah. Miss Aizawa gave the okay for her to use the scarf, and she uses that, and she gets a very good amount of points, I'll say. She gives a good amount of points, and Deku, he does, basically, Deku was just doing fine. He not really doing nothing much. He's destroying robots left and right, of course, being Deku, looking for a stronger robot. He's most likely going for the 2-pointer robots, because he doesn't want to go for any robots that's going to take a lot of points or give him a less amount of points, so he's just going for 2-pointer. Sorry about that, if you guys saw that. Yeah, Deku, he's just basically, Deku, I'm going to say one thing that changes. As soon as the 0-point robot is unleashed, Deku is where they would let the 0-pointer robot go free and rampage to scare everyone else. And Deku would see the 0-pointer robot being released from this giant gate. And then Deku tries to run to Uri and tells her that he's found a 0-pointer robot. And then Uri is asking where is the 0-point robot? And then Deku would turn around and point behind him right there. And I'll say that the 0-pointer robot destroyed, I'll say 4 buildings. 4 buildings, 2 on each side, making noise. So yeah, Deku, and then Uri said, what are you planning to do? And then Deku says he's going to take it out, even though it's worth 0 point. Still worth taking it down. Then Uri says, be careful. And this is when Deku would power up to 10% of One For All, because he can use 15%, but he just mostly uses 8%. But he's going to go for 10%. I'm going to say he's going to use 10%. Then he'll do the same thing like in canon, except he won't break his bones. It'll just knock back the 0-pointer robot. And some of the teachers would be in shock that Deku somehow knew where the 0-pointer robot was coming from. And he destroyed it. Just quickly dispatched of it. So that actually saves a whole lot of time. So they keep collecting points. And then they collect points until President Mike says through the mic that time is up. And thanks for all participating in this. And you will all get a letter in the mail saying if you made it in or not. And this is when everybody will start to go. Will start to walk. Start to leave. And this is when, out of nowhere, Bakugo comes out of nowhere and says, what in the hell are you both doing here? You know you both didn't pass. And then Deku was saying, well, that's what happened during the whole battlefield thing. I'll say that me and Uri did well. And then Bakugo would say, what do you mean? What do you mean you both did well? You don't have a quirk. Oh yeah, Bakugo doesn't know that Deku has a quirk, but now he knows. And then Deku would say, oh, I actually do have a quirk, I just never told you. And then Bakugo would say, what, you damn nerd, you didn't tell me you had a quirk? And then Bakugo, being curious, would ask, what is his quirk? And then this is when Deku would try to think of what to call the quirk, because he can't say it's One For All. because he has to keep that secret. And then out of nowhere, Uri would see a kid with a book bag that says Plus Ultra, and this is when she would tell Bakugo that Deku's quirk is called Plus Ultra. And then Deku and Uri, and a few people that heard Uri say that Deku's quirk is called Plus Ultra, some of the kids that heard her would start giggling a little bit and saying how cute, how he wants to resemble All Might by using his catchphrase and calling his quirk that. And Bakugo straight up doesn't believe that Deku's quirk is called that. But Deku says, sadly, it's true. And then Bakugo, due to Deku saying that, Bakugo believes him now and saying, you damn nerd, how dare you lie to me, saying you never had a quirk, and plus, your quirk is literally called after All Might's biggest catchphrase. It's literally named after All Might's catchphrase, Plus Ultra. And then Deku would say, so what if it is? So what if it isn't? What does it really matter to you? And then Bakugo does the whole thing, saying, oh, you think you're better than me because you have a stronger quirk, so that means your quirk must be immensely powerful. If it deserved, if it got the name Plus Ultra, so it must mean you must be stronger than All Might then. And then Deku would say, no, not really. It's just that I'm allowed to charge up a lot of power to one place in my body and release it. And then Bakugo would say, I don't care. I'm going to beat you with or without that quirk. And then this is when Bakugo would walk away, storming off. And this is when Uri would say sorry, and then Deku would say, saying sorry for what? That was a good fact. You were smart, fast, and quick on your feet about coming up with a name for the quirk that I couldn't even think about. And then Uri would blush a little bit, and Deku would say, why are you blushing? And then Uri would say, for no reason, and then she would start to run off a little bit, and then Deku would chase after her and telling her to wait up. And then I'll say a few minutes later, Deku and Uri are walking home, and this is when Mr. Aizawa pulls up in a black car and tells them both to get in, and then they both would get in. And then in the driver's seat is Bubble Girl. Bubble Girl from the Night Eyes agency. And then this is when they would go to Night Eye. And then by the time they get there, Night Eye's already standing outside the door with Mirio and a depressed looking, well, I wouldn't say depressed, but like a worried looking All Might in his debuff form. Well, in his buffed up form because Uri used to rewind to heal him. And a weird, small, old guy with a funny looking hero outfit. And then this is when they would all walk into the building. And then this is when Night Eye would just tell everyone who everybody is and get the discussion out the way. And All Might would say, you must be Deku, you must be Izuku Midoriya, and you must be Uri. And then they both would say yes, and All Might would say, this is my ex-former sidekick, Sir Night Eye. His sidekick, I believe Bubble Girl is Night Eye's sidekick. I'm not sure. Yeah, she is. And then All Might would say, Bubble Girl is Night Eye's sidekick, and this is the successor I was planning to give it to, Mirio. And this is my former master, Gran Torino. And then this is when Deku would fanboy out about Sir Night Eye and All Might's old master, Gran Torino. And this is when Mr. Aizawa would try to calm him down. And then this is when Mirio will start to get excited because he's meeting All Might's new apprentice and this girl that he heard so much about that has a really powerful, but kind of dangerous, but still powerful quirk, which actually gets Uri a little bit nervous, and then Uri and Mr. Aizawa would look at each other, giving each other that look like, yeah, we found, like giving each other that look by saying, oh, this must be Deku's brother that we never knew about, due to how they have the same bright light. Metaphorically speaking, bright light, as in being a powerful beacon. And then they would go into Night Eye's office, and this is when Night Eye would explain everything on how Muriel was supposed to be the one to get one for all, but All Might gave it to this random kid that was quirkless. And then this is when All Might would have to tell the whole thing about how he was once quirkless, and this gets Bubble Girl a little bit. And this will start to get Bubble Girl fangirl. I'm not gonna say fanboy because she's not a boy, she's a girl. But fangirl out about how All Might was actually quirkless, and she would be so surprised to hear that. And then All Might would have to tell the whole history about one for all for one, and all of that again. And now Bubble Girl's caught up, so she's not, lost in the group about everything. And then Night Eye would ask All Might, what do you see in this boy? And then All Might would tell him that I see a true hero. But the main reason why is because he showed me a spark that I have seemed to lost in my age. Well, not my age, but as I've continued growing. And I have somehow lost this spark that I had. But when I saw what he did to save his friend, his former friend, and find out that he was quirkless and he was willing to do something about it when other heroes wouldn't, and how he protected that girl and all that, and how he protected a girl that had a powerful quirk, and now not just that, he's also trained his body to somewhat to be superhuman level in order to at least make it into either Class 1B or support classman or any other class in the hero class. And then this is when Night Eye would turn to Deku and say, why do you want to be a hero? And then Deku would say, obviously, to protect people for the right reason. This is when this is when Gran Torino would ask him, what is the right reason? And Deku would say, the right reason? Well, there is no right reason. A hero is a hero. A hero is a hero. And that's all a hero is. There's no one important, nothing important. A hero can be just not someone with a quirk. A hero to me isn't someone that has power and stands up to the people with power, that abuses their power and stands up to them and does what's right. A hero to me is anyone. Anyone can be a hero. Just with one little thing. It could just take one thing to be a hero. And if you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm about to say next. If you know what I'm talking about. If you have ever watched Deadpool the movie. And some of you are going to dislike because I am basically copying. But I'm going to say it anyway. Deku says that a hero only has 4 or 5 moments. And that's all it takes to be a hero. A lot of people think that heroes wake up a hero, brush their teeth a hero, put on their clothes like a hero, eats breakfast like a hero, works out like a hero. Everybody thinks a hero does what a hero is what they're implied to be. But a hero is when they choose one thing over the other. Or is where they make a choice. a hero makes a choice. And that either choice can be self-sacrificing or a choice that would be self-worthy. What I mean by that is that a hero can put everything on the line for a billion people. But a true hero would put a hero would put the world on his shoulder for anything. But a true hero, would put the weight of just saving one person's life in their hands. And this is when Mirio would start to change his perspective a little bit. Gran Torino would be in shock about how promising this kid sounds. Night Eye is kind of baffled. It's kind of trying to be a rebel about what Deku was saying. But he realized he can't win. Mr. Aizawa starts to open his eyes a little bit about how the kid is right. And Uri just sees Deku as a true beacon of hope. And so does Bubble Girl. And Mr. Aizawa says, well, you both should be getting home. And Night Eye says, wait, one more question. How would you like it how would you like to have an internship with me? And Deku would say, what do you mean? I know that the sports festival has not even come up yet, but I would really like if you were to join an internship with me. And you can bring your girlfriend along as well. This is when Uri would blush and say, well, it's only up to Deku if he wants me to join. And Deku would say, well, you said something about a sports festival, right? And then Night Eye said yes. And then Mr. Aizawa would cut in saying that if you get placed higher ranking in the sports festival, the more internship from heroes you would get, which means heroes would like to take you under their wing and train you. So if you and Uri, if either one of you can place high in the sports festival, you just one of you would have to get just one internship from Sir Night Eye. Just one of you would have to make it higher to the sports festival, and then I'll see if it's approachable. And then Sir Night Eye say it's fine with me. And then this is when Mirio would run over to Deku and say, if you want, we could train sometimes, like spar. And then All Might said, well, all three of us can. And then this is when Deku would say, you mean 4. And then Uri would say, you guys, it could just be you guys. And then Deku would say, no, you're part of us. You're one of us. And then Uri would blush and say, well, if it's to get stronger and to be a true hero, then count me in. So I'll be ending this part off here, like right here. So like, subscribe, comment down below. If you guys, comment down below on how your guys' day was. And I'll catch you all in the next video. So, peace.